I have so many thoughts kind of racing through my head. I'll start with actually a medieval Muslim historian. His name was Ibn Khaldun. He's the greatest Muslim historian of the Middle Ages. And he said all civilizations go through a period. He kind of compared it to human growth. So you begin as a child, the civilization is in infancy, it's developing its basic principles. Then you have the strength of adolescence and youth, in which the civilization is vigorous. And then he says over time, the civilization becomes kind of unsure of itself. It begins to lose strength and it goes into a sort of decay. And of course, his focus was about why that happens. Now, I think what Kamil Paglia is saying is that the reason it happens is that when the civilization loses its sense of itself, it becomes confused, and all the principles that seem to be certainties before now become, well, I don't really know. So you become a relativist of a sort, and the relativism then suddenly begins to become so pervasive that you can't tell the difference between a man and a woman, which is an extreme form of relativism, right? It's one thing to say, for example, I don't know about the existence of, platonic verities in the sky. It's another thing to say, I don't know about the existence of a tree outside my window. So the difference between men and women is as obvious as the existence of a tree. Why? Because no one comes into the world kind of unsexed, right? You come into the world and you don't even really have human beings, right? You have men, you have boys, and you have girls, and that's all you have. You don't have any. You might have a few people who have some intermediate sexual condition, the hermaphrodites and so on, but those are very minor. And so there's no such thing as human beings outside of this given biological framework. And I think what she's saying is when you start questioning even that, then you are kind of in civilizational la land. So I think, and then she traces the decadence of the late Romans, the decadence of Weimar Germany. Certainly there was a lot of nihilism, a lot of mockery of absolute truth. All of this was going on in Germany prior to the right. The Nazis sort of countered that by coming in and saying, in effect, we will bring you certainty, we will bring you strength. And so one of the things that Kamil Paglia doesn't mention is that there is a sort of tyrannical appeal that comes out of all this because people can't ultimately live with this kind of moral chaos, and they tend to look for some way out of it.